Leave the sensitivity low.
I need my hands free.
All right. You wanna do the introductions?
Of course. Because only I know how to.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. What do we got here? Towards the end of the losers bracket, we've got Baron on the classy Baron system. Metal everywhere. Going to be played with two people who've fought their way back through the losers bracket. We get back into the winners bracket for the finals there. We've got Ilifewaffles in Gunmetal Grey and DrDuck in Orange. Let's see quite where they spawn. The Northern Hemisphere is DrDuck NLA. What's he going first? Vehicles after walking his commander away for a little bit. And on the south, we've got Legion. I like waffles. What's first?
Well, from what I've seen on this game, at least, it's quite interesting because from when I was watching Chris J, it was like you want to basically the bots you would think are the better choice on this map. You know, it's very open, it's very expanding, but it was actually kind of interesting because basically what happened was he opened up with vehicles, kind of slow builded tier 2, and then just kind of built these really sporadic like outpost kind of vehicle factories, and he basically just used them to lock down any sort of bot aggression that would have happened. It was very interesting, especially on a map that's literally just a barren moon.
Strategy that I've often used on this is to rush bots a lot first so that you force your opponent into a situation where they feel contained, and as long as you get all the expansion done, and then you can push up with the vehicles afterwards or even make the proxy bases as you suggested. So that's a very strong tactic. Although going vehicles first with 3 fabricators is a very
I still feel like
different
the bots
take
are the
on it.
better opening, because that combat fab reclaim game is ridiculous.
Well, there's enough metal on here that you can kind of expand without necessarily risking your commander too much. The advantage that the bots give you on MLA,
DrDuck,
though,
watch his
are the
economy.
bots.
Watch Duck's economy. It's not going to stay at 100%. It's going to be chilling in like the 50s for a while. As it hits 80%, but it's that combat reclaim.
Neither player is com reclaiming. Neither player.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, Legion opening metal is a lot stronger than MLA though, isn't it?
It's countered by the whole expense of Legion units, though.
True.
This map is actually quite good for Legion because of the way that they can expand, and the amount of metal that is available to them early on will really allow them to ramp up to that T2 a lot earlier than most maps allow Legion to do. So
Legion tier 2 is quite spooky.
Yeah. Moving out already with the Peacekeepers, Lancers, and a Patriot there for a little bit of air cover. These guys are going to be looking for some expanding fabricators. We got 2 on the front lines there from the MLA, so as long as they can peek in just a little bit, although it does seem as though the Skitter got a scout on those guys, and so DrDuck is running in the
I'm going to hold to the fact that because the MLA commander didn't combat reclaim, his efficiency was just terrible for the longest time because of it. I really do think that was like a serious flaw there, like a serious mistake, because that gave Duck, I think, like 10 or 15 seconds of just very bad efficiency.
Well, don't forget, before com reclaim was the meta, people still had to figure out their efficiency without reclaiming their com anyway. The problem, therefore, is that he had too many fabricators building at once, and we can already see 5 fabricators pretty much all working at the same time.
Some of those Lancers, though, pushing in, and they're going to get nice and gobbled up by the DrDuck's units.
Of course. Never, as Legion, do you want to be engaging the commander quite so early. You want to be avoiding the commander for as long as you can, and again, I've seen this so many times with Legion in this tournament, is that people just send units out far too early and lose them, and they're just not getting the cost
the cost
from
benefit.
those units. And as a result, they don't have anything later in the game that can really counter the MLA pushes. But yeah, T2 pinged.
Yeah, a very well, the early tier 2. I mean, you were saying about how they just throw their units away. Well, when you got tier 2, this is something I noticed from Waffles. I've seen it a lot of times. He starts tier 2 relatively early, and then about the 6-7 minute mark, he suddenly just got enforcers knocking on your front door. But I completely agree. This push of Lancers here, I mean, 1 Uber cannon, and well, if it would have connected, would have completely cleaned up the entire push here. But They are getting some metal for their worth, but these Lancers with their, their focus fire damage is actually really powerful. And it's not going to kill off a turret here, but it's going to get a few metal extractors and a Faber for their trouble.
Yeah, that was an okay push. I still feel as though they're pushing in too early. The Legion player could be using the air to go and scout expansions and be sending those smaller groups of units out to those completely undefended expansions. I mean, look at all of this metal here.
Oh,
that is completely free for
Dr.
the taking.
Duck doesn't know that Waffles is going tier 2.
No, of course he doesn't.
He's got a Firefly, but it's... Well, no, I mean, it's like, it's just on the cusp. Like, if he put it a little bit more forward, he would have seen it. Like, seriously.
That's going to be quite crucial going on here, because
painful.
once those enforcers come in...
Oh, it's bad news. They're literally slammers. I mean, come on and slam and welcome to the jam. Dr. Duck is he's getting lanced to death here. I mean, he's got a pretty good tank army here, but these Lancers are just getting more and more numerous.
Thing is, the Lancers need to be careful that the Peacekeepers do go in front. And looking at these blobs here, the Lancers could be the ones to take the hits from the tanks, and that's the last thing they want, because those things are glass cannons. The Peacekeepers on the wrong side here, as the Ants do start to engage, will I like Waffles continue
wrap him around.
Or will he come back? He does not want to engage this army right now. This is such a waste of units. He could
I
just
think he's
keep
trying to
pushing
dance
in
it
and take out the power.
Yeah, it looks like nope, he's gonna go straight for it. YOLO is the battle cry of the Legion, and the Ants just kind of chuckle and gun them all down indiscriminately. Ouch.
The thing is, he's still sending these units doing not like...
Yeah, they're not trading at all.
That was very, very good for the MLA player. That was incredibly good. He lost 1 mechs and a few ants.
Another one.
What does that mean?
But this time with enforcers.
Well, yes, that's going to be the clincher. Quite how Dr. Duck is going to deal with these enforcers. There's 3 there. There's Peacekeepers to soak the damage at the front. There's still Lancers coming out. I feel as though I like Waffles could be using his air a bit better. I feel like if he
well,
had
there hasn't
maybe
been
1
any
or
air to
2
begin with. I mean, there's been very little actual airplay here.
I mean, he doesn't even need to use it as an air play, just to support. You know.
Yeah. Ouch.
Just sending in some Dauntless in advance of his army. He could be sending some Marauders around to pick off some expanding fabricators. He could be sending some Scythes and Marauders around to go and scout the weak parts of the base.
But Marshall, your first mistake. You're saying the word if he could do it. And at the same time, we do have these enforcers pushing in, you know. Tier 2 vehicles, though, coming up here for Dr. Duck. I think nope, it's pure vehicles. He's sticking to it. He really does believe that ants are the way to win. But I agree with you. I really do think that, I mean, air units, both players are just neglecting to use, that third type of tech. And they're both kind of suffering for it.
The problem is, the more I like Waffles is just chucking these units away into Dr. Duck's replenished army each time. Dr. Duck is expanding freely, and he's getting more vehicle factories, so he's defending perfectly, bar maybe the odd metal extractor and a few tanks, and he's getting more units to then defend more so the next time. And if we look at the factory count from the Legion player, it hasn't really changed very much at all. Yeah, we've got T2, but we've almost got it from the MLA player, and we haven't seen that ramp up in production from I Like Waffles. He's floating 200 metal, for heaven's sake.
Also, I don't know if you happen to notice, but this entire orange, it was like a perfect orange line. I was absolutely interesting. But here we go again. Well, this could be a big deal. All of these tanks are kind of in like a single file line, and if the enforcers get the opportunity, they could gun down a significant chunk of these. And sure, if you pick off the odd 1 or 2, that's no big deal. But look at this. I mean, 4 enforcers basically versus 1 ant. I mean, that's a seriously good trade here. And I mean, look at this. The ants come marching 1 by 1. Hurrah, says the enforcer, because my boot is gonna just stomp them. And, well, they're in the base. They won't be able to kill the commander, so they're probably going to just avoid it. But they're in the power, stealing all the energy. With the Uber. And the power plants are falling 1 by 1. Now, at the same time, though, ironically, Waffles is the one losing more power. Hi there, hummingbirds. How you doing? Nice day to do a flyby, but this could be a big deal. A lot of the power plants went down here for Dr. Duck, but Well, there's 2 more. There are 2 whole power plants that survived that entire engagement from Waffles.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
and the
all
Fabber.
the T2 Fab. That was big.
Yep. I think that killed him.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah,
that's
there's the
it.
enforcer.
Great.
And boom goes the dynamite. Wow. You know, I know you hate just suiciding units, but that YOLO
That
chuck.
wasn't suiciding units, though.
Oh no, he was throwing units away like it was like tissues. I mean, Lancer army after Lancer army, it was absolutely
No, I mean
silly
that
for
final push. That final push was well done.
Mm.
That final push was. He realized that he was just throwing units into the same area that was continually being replenished and defended, and so he realized, okay, let's send them in a different direction.
Let's
go
try a different
away
area.
from the army. Let's go where there's not going to be dudes to defend, and it worked.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like I was saying the whole game.
Hey guys, it's Ghost here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and make sure to turn up that audio because we're about to kick it.
Goodbye. Okay, goodbye.